We can't wall ourselves off from the problems that are not bound by borders. The threat of communicable disease like Zika, drug trafficking, climate change. No wall can be built. None that can do that.
Yeah, Maria, thanks for having me. Look, and as someone that's got over almost 30 years of law enforcement experience, I was stunned yesterday. Within a couple hours of taking office, President Biden, with a stroke of a pen, Maria, made our country less safe than it was yesterday. He took an essential tool, the wall, and protect our borders by saying he's not going to build another foot of wall. He refused, and his administration refused to listen to the brave men and women, specifically the Border Patrol, Maria, that are on the front lines of our nation's borders. They said they need this tool to do their job effectively and, more importantly, safely. By doing this, our country is less safe, and the Border Patrol agents defending it are less safe. It's outrageous, and I hope every American citizen in this country pays attention what's coming next.
Armrests in the middle of benches to large rocks added underneath bridges. Homeless advocates call these designs hostile architecture or anti-homeless.
In London and Paris, you see spikes on windowsills. In D.C., a curved bench.
Hostile architecture is when cities put features in the architecture to try to keep homeless people away.
Spikes that would hurt people seemed like a bad idea.
They served our country. Now thousands of veterans are being served a bill because of government oversight. Thanks for joining us for 10 Tampa Bay at 6. I'm Dave Wagner.
And I'm Carolina Lead. Right now, many low-income veterans receiving pension payments from the VA are being hit with letters saying they need to pay back thousands and thousands of dollars.
10 Tampa Bay's Aaron Parsician shares the story of a local Marine who reached out to 10 Tampa Bay saying he'll be underwater if forced to pay what he's told he owes.
They want to sit up there. I just want to read some of this stuff to you because I want to make sure that we put it in its proper context. New York City will soon launch a $53 million pilot program to hand out prepaid credit cards to migrant families housed in hotels, according to the report. The New York Post has reported that 500 migrant families at the Roosevelt Hotel will receive prepaid cards to help them buy food. The program is intended to replace the current food service provided there, the Post reported. A spokesperson for Eric Adams said, quote, not only will this provide families with the ability to purchase fresh food for their culturally relevant diets and the baby supplies of their choosing, but the pilot program is expected to save New York City more than $600,000 per month and more than $7.2 million annually. Here are the stipulations. Migrants eligible for the program must sign an affidavit stating they will only spend the funds on food and baby supplies or else they will lose access to funds, the report said. Another stipulation, the amount available to each family depends on their size and how much income they are receiving, according to a contract reviewed by the Post. A family of 4 might be provided nearly $1,000 each month or $35 per day for food.
Unfortunately, President Biden immediately ceased construction of the border wall and enacted policies favoring illegal immigrants over Americans. Illegal immigrants over Americans.
I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
I see homeless folks in the streets of New York all the time that are American citizens. I damn sure see them in California. We've got poor, impoverished, starving people who were born and raised in this nation. How in the hell do we come up with a $53 million pilot program for illegals, but folks who are here legally are born here, we don't have enough for them? Just like we could come up with billions for Ukraine, but somehow, some way, we can't fix the homeless problem. I'm down for helping Israel. I'm down for helping address the situations with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, okay? I'm down for helping the Ukrainians and fighting off Russia. What about poor and desolate citizens here? How the hell do you print money for foreign countries, but you don't print that money to help eradicate folks that are starving right here in the streets of America, who were born and raised here.
Кто лучше, Байден или Трамп?
Байден. Он человек более опытный, он прогнозируемый.
Agárralo. Sí. Este pie, pasalo para acá. Aquí. Agárralo, güey. ¡Hey! Pásame ese maletín, porfa.
Coge la zapatilla.
Please. No, el maletín.
Ahí la maletín.
You can talk about employment all you want to. You can talk about the labor participation rate. But guess what? If you ain't making no damn money and you got to get 2 jobs to pay the same prices or to buy the same amount of stuff that you used to buy and the price is higher than it used to be because of inflation, then guess what? What are you really accomplishing?
Wow, guys.
She works nights there, 37 hours per week for about $900 a month.
A family of 4 might be provided nearly $1,000 each month or $35 per day for food.
37 hours per week for about $900 a month.
We've got poor, impoverished, starving people who were born and raised in this nation. How in the hell do we come up with a $53 million pilot program for illegals, but folks who are here legally are born here, we don't have enough for them? Just like we could come up with billions for Ukraine, but somehow, some way, we can't fix the homeless problem. What about poor and desolate citizens here? How the hell do you print money for foreign countries, but you don't print that money to help eradicate folks that are starving right here in the streets of America, who were born and raised here?
Second part of my never-ending day. I just came out of McDonald's about like 2 hours ago. Now I'm gonna go start my other job.
Within a couple hours of taking office, President Biden, with a stroke of a pen, Maria, made our country less safe than it was yesterday.
So the reason it's more than fair to point out that the federal government has not done its job is because the federal government has not done its job. I mean, everybody knows that they're in charge of immigration reform. As a matter of fact, they've been actively preventing us, in some cases, from doing what we can to help them. They've failed on immigration. They failed on border security. They've actually caused the humanitarian crisis that is at the border at this point by having policies that incent people to come here and to effectively invade. And way too many people than we can handle, which is why we're having these conversations about the cost and so on. So in terms of whether or not I would personally have supported, I could tell you that as far as I understand it, I don't think there should be, there are issues with the bill. Let's leave it at that. Let's move on.
What do I think about the control of our borders? What would I do about it? Ladies and gentlemen, no great country can say it is secure without being able to control its borders, period. What I would do about it, or what I proposed to do about it almost 13 years ago. I would radically ramp up the number of border security guards we have, the use of electronic surveillance material we have to guard the border, and the number of what they call virtual fences. They're not literally fences, virtual fences from aerostat balloons on to whereby we can control the border. Much, much better.
To ensure that our laws are protected and that our citizens are protected and that our citizens and our taxpayers don't end up having to foot the bill for the failures of the federal government, again, having failed to do its job.
Why did you come?
Taking money.
Money?
Yes.
For job?
Yes.
There's no job in China.
Maybe, I don't know. Taking money.
What the hell happened to us?
What happened to the American dream?
What happened to the American dream? It came true. You're looking at it.
for those who commit serious crimes in the city, they should be able to be deported after they serve their time.
Well, ICE is conducting repatriation flights, removing more than 100 migrants from the U.S., sending them back to their home countries.
The topic of New York's sanctuary city status remains in the headline.
The Biden administration once again starting to deport migrants back to Venezuela.